comes to politics. Yeah, I'm well past the tinfoil hat stage. I need a good helmet for the banging my head against the wall stage. The Kate Daly Show starts now.
Let me tell you folks about global warming, especially you young folks out there. Don't worry about it. And I'll tell you what, just trust me on this. For as long as I have been alive, it's been hot in the summer. Now this right here is almost unbelievable. Some summers have been hotter than others.
Isn't that the truth? All right. James Gregory, comedian.
Yeah. That was very appropriate because I've been banging my head against the walls stage all morning.
Such a bad joke, but I'm so with you. Oh, you guys, the dilemma of talking about somebody no one's heard of and suddenly CBS and all the mainstream, even Fox, yes, Fox, because they're mainstream, is painting him as the holy grail of Americana.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy had a 5% to 20% range of voting for the Constitution. But anyway, a total sellout and communist thug. But we talked about that in the previous hour. In this hour, we actually have Mel Mattison joining us, which I love the hours that we spend with Mel. He comes on the show every Tuesday. How are you, Mel?
Doing great. How are you guys?
Great. In fact, your book, Quoz, Quoz, get the book, I highly recommend, is on audio. It's an audiobook now, so might want to talk about that. But where can people find that?
Thanks for mentioning it. It is available in audiobook as well as your other normal formats, awesome. Ebooks and paperback. You can get it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. If you like using a local bookseller, they might not have it in the store, but if you ask them to order it, they can find it by just saying Quoz, Quoz by Mel Mattison. So pretty much anywhere books are sold, and the audiobook is, again, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, normal places.
Awesome.
So thanks for letting me talk about that a little.
You bet. You know, melmadison.com. So we have a lot to talk about because you were the one that brought up Japan, and keep an eye on what was going on over there, and it was brilliant. You're so smart. And then also we have a Bitcoin bill. We also have Lockheed stock going up. We also, what, Milty?
I want to say, I want to find out who has the job of doing the acronyms for these bills. Because
wait, let me guess. I don't even know. Is it apple pie and Bitcoin?
No.
What is it?
Boosting innovation, technology, and competitiveness through optimized investment nationwide, which is Bitcoin. What an acronym.
Well, you know what? Isn't it just horse crap?
Yes.
I mean, yes. I'm surprised that it doesn't say, and its byline is, and we all eat apple pie and everything is fun and happy. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what's going on with whatever he just said, Bitcoin bill.
Well, first, I think it's hilarious that you brought that up, Uncle Milty, because I always laugh at that. And I totally smirked when I was reading the acronym in the bill. So I did print out, read the entire bill. Luckily, it's a short one. It's a 13-page bill.
The bill is shorter than the actual title. Go ahead. That's a first.
Yes, exactly. Well, I was going to say, since we did bring up Quoz, I had fun when I was writing Quoz because I had to create a couple of government bills. And I'm like, you've got to come up with like great names like that. Yeah. So there's this whole bill where they're trying to basically take away and confiscate our gold and silver. And it's called the SAGE Act. Silver and Gold Exchange Act.
Yes.
So that was the SAGE Act I came up with.
Makes it seem voluntary. Yes, yeah. I like it. Yeah.
And this is not a bill, but there's a supercomputer, AI supercomputer that's controlling the financial markets. I call it Icarus, which stands for the International Central and Automated Regulation of the Universe of Securities.
ICKY for short. Just ICKY.
Yeah,
Got it.
And they do it for all these bills. They really must have like somebody just sitting, or maybe they're using AI now. Maybe ChatGPT came up with this one.
Maybe Sesame Street's writing it. We don't know. Everything's sunshiny and happy over there. I don't know. It's bizarre. And I'm always perplexed by it too, by the way. We've been poking fun at this for 14 years. The bill names. And it's always, don't look here because this is glorious. And then the bill. So, all right. So tell us about the Bitcoin bill. What are you seeing?
Yes. So, this one is kind of scary because I started reading it. I had heard about it, and they did so. Senator Loomis announced it that she was going to be creating this at the Bitcoin conference a week or two ago. She was going to create a bill for the United States to buy all this Bitcoin, and she said she'd be releasing the bill. Well, the text came out a few days ago. And so we were actually able as the public to read the details. And I'm reading through this 13-page bill, and it says a lot of what she talked about in Nashville. Okay, we're going to buy Bitcoin. We're going to buy 1 million Bitcoin, which is hundreds of billions of dollars at today's prices. We're going to, create a strategic reserve and all this junk. And then I get to Section 9 of the bill, which is how they're going to pay for it. And it's called offsetting the cost of the strategic Bitcoin reserve. And it is the biggest shenanigan with our U.S. gold stockpile I've ever seen. They're basically want to do a bunch of accounting tricks with our own gold and the Federal Reserve and what they call Federal Reserve gold certificates, and have these be turned in by the Federal Reserve to the Treasury, and the Treasury do a massive revaluing of our gold at a price set by the Department of Treasury. And whatever price they set, the Federal Reserve then has to send within 90 days that amount of money to the United States Treasury. So, I'm going to get into the details a little bit of how crazy this is, but that's the general outline of what this bill is proposing.
I'm sort of astonished. Okay. So we don't hold actual gold and silver, right?
Well, okay, we don't hold gold and silver at the Treasury. It is technically supposedly held by the United States Mint. Okay, so if people are actually curious of where the United States claims our gold is, we are supposedly own about 260 million ounces. The Federal Reserve supposedly holds 5% of that under their vault in New York. And then the rest is supposed to be held by the United States Mint, which operates various facilities. The largest of which is Fort Knox, where they claim 147 million ounces are held. And then there's about 50 million ounces they claim are held at the mints in Denver and at the West Point Mint. And then they claim they use like 3 million ounces for working stock. So this is where they claim this actual gold.
What about all the gold that went missing in 9/11 under the tower that fell that shouldn't have at the end of the day, far after the planes?
Okay, so they rarely will let anyone into Fort Knox. Okay, I think they've done it twice. I think they supposedly did it in 1970s, and then they supposedly let some people in to see that the gold existed in 2017. Okay, so we're years. It's been years and years. So who knows what's actually happening with this gold? In New York, the Federal Reserve holds a lot of gold. This is supposed to be. It's not our gold. It's actually the gold of other central banks. It's like India's gold or Germany's gold.
It's on an exchange program, is what you're saying. We're just housing it.
Yes, exactly. So they have these bars, they do journal entries, and a lot of this is all orchestrated by my favorite central bank villains, the Bank for International Settlements out of Basel, Switzerland. So they actually have control over a lot of this gold that's held in these vaults, even in the Federal Reserve. So the whole gold, what they do with it, how they do leasing, like you can lease gold. This is a big multi-billion-dollar business. So who's the real ownership? This is what many people believe, that if you ever closed out the futures contracts, if you ever had the people that actually think they own gold say, I want my gold, that there's no way you'd be able to actually fulfill those deliveries.
Well, of course. I mean, good old Peter that worked for JFK said there was no gold in Fort Knox, and that and this is why they wouldn't, and this is in the 70s, why they would not let anyone in to to ever evaluate it is they were hiding it. They were hiding the fact that it wasn't there. And so that's, it's the big illusion, I think, that we have it.
Yeah.
And so to claim that we're on an exchange program, I'm sorry, why are we housing theirs and they're housing are they housing ours? I haven't heard the other countries talk like that, but we're housing theirs. That's kind of interesting. Uncle Milty?
Wasn't it about 10 years ago when Germany tried to get their gold and we couldn't give it to them?
And Russia put theirs on ships in 2016?
Yes.
Yeah.
This stuff is going on. I mean, like I said, it's a tangled web, and there is gold somewhere, supposedly, allegedly. But like I said, when the paper ownership rights, whether it's things like central banks or it's what the government claims are in our mint facilities, like the answer is there. We have no idea how much gold there is, who owns it, where it is. It's all a bunch of funny numbers because, like you said, they don't audit it. They don't let people come in and see it. They don't. The real owners don't hold it. They lease it out. It's a mess. That's why owning physical gold is such a smart strategy for your own personal investment.
This is a good time to buy, don't you think? A good time to buy
gold
and silver. Yeah. Okay. So this Bitcoin bill then. Let's go back to that. They're hijacking Bitcoin. You tell me, Uncle Milty.
At the start of the bill, as you read it, there's a section called the findings of Congress. And the experts, the financial experts in Congress state quite plainly, I think, in Part 3, just as gold reserves have been historically a cornerstone of national financial security, Bitcoin represents a digital age asset capable of enhancing the like it sounds like they come right out and say we're going to replace gold.
Yeah, with Bitcoin, the illusionary Bitcoin.
Yeah.
No, exactly. If you read the bill, like you said, Milton, they make all these declarations and statements of opinion as if they're fact. Like this is even the way they term it, the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Bitcoin is nothing. How can you reserve? It's software. It's a software protocol.
But they mine it. They mine it, Mel. They're like little miners. They're going in and they're mining something. We're gonna come right back. It's like when you go to New York and you buy a stereo, but then you walk away with a heavy box and you get home and it's a box of rocks instead of the stereo. I kind of feel this is coming on. All right, we'll be right back with Mel Mattison, melmattison.com. The book is Quaz. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. Kate Daly Show.
Thanks for listening to The Kate Daly Show. All opinions expressed by the program participants on The Kate Daly Show are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinion.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Not one